I just picked up the Weber Genesis 2 E-335, and with a new propane grill, there are a few things that can be done to better your enjoyment with the grill and to help prolong its life. These things include the initial cleaning, burning in, and seasoning of the grill. I'll go over what I did to accomplish these things, and although I'm doing my demonstration on a specific Weber, these steps are applicable to almost any grill. First, let's start off with the initial cleaning of the grill. From the factory, the manufacturers coat the grills with various oils that can affect your food and possibly make you sick, so we want to clean up as much of that as possible. For all the removable parts like the grilling grates, flavorizer bars, warming rack, I cleaned them with old-fashioned dish soap and a sponge. Since the grill and I were outside, I just used the garden hose. To me, this part is going to be most important with the parts that actually touch your food, so more attention should be paid to the grilling grates and warming rack. It's also important to note that with many grills, the various parts are going to be made with some sort of ferrous metal, and for our purposes, this just means that they can rust. So you should not get the parts wet and just let them sit there. You should dry them off somehow. This isn't that big of a deal if you continue on with the following steps, but definitely don't just store them away wet. I personally just had a roll of paper towel nearby to dry everything off. Once everything is clean and dry, we're going to reassemble the grill and perform a burn-in. This is done by turning the grill on high and letting the intense heat of the grill burn off any residual manufacturing oils. I've seen people do this different ways. Some say to leave the lid open, some say to close it. To me, it makes more sense to close the lid so you can reach a higher temperature and you can let the heat hit everything to a greater degree. The length of time for the burn-in is also debatable. The Weber manual actually says to close the lid and burn in for at least 20 minutes. 30 minutes seemed to be a pretty standard recommendation, so I went with that. Now that the burn-in is complete, we're going to turn the grill off and let it cool down. At this point, we're going to season the grill. This means that we're going to apply a coat of oil to the various surfaces. This will help make things more non-stick and help to prevent rust. For this step, you want to use some sort of high smoke point oil. I'm using avocado oil, but there are plenty of other options. Canola oil is a pretty popular recommendation. Grapeseed oil is another good one. Some people just use a potato or an onion and rub that around. It just comes down to what you're comfortable with. You can do your own research on what's best. If you're going to go with an oil, something to consider is a liquid or a spray form. As you can see here, I'm using a liquid oil and I'm spreading it around with a paper towel. This works, but it takes significantly more time to apply than a spray oil. With the seasoning, you can basically apply oil to anything on the grill. I've seen people oil the entire interior and exterior of the grill. At the end of the day, it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with and how much work you want to put in. Oiling up the entire grill will absolutely help to protect it from rust, but what grill you have is going to play a bigger role in that. If you have some super cheap sheet metal grill, it's likely going to have some rust issues no matter what. With seasoning, I would say that the most important parts to cover are those that food are going to touch. So it's important to season the grilling grates and the warming rack because seasoning will also help prevent food from sticking. Another good place to apply oil to is the inside of the lid, as this is one of those places that sees a lot of buildup. Then, like I said earlier, everything else is kind of just the cherry on top. The more you cover, the more protected your grill is going to be. Once you're happy with the coat of oil that you've applied, we're going to turn the grill back on high and let it sit for another 30 minutes or so. The high heat is really going to bake that oil into all the surfaces. Once that's done, the seasoning process is complete and you're pretty much ready to start grilling. Now, the burn-in process is a one-time thing that you really only need to do with a brand new grill. With seasoning, that's more of a once-in-a-while as-needed thing, so I can't really give you a time frame. However, it's probably a good idea to season again if you perform a good deep clean of the grill, because if you do that, you'll probably be stripping off all the seasoning in the first place. Aside from that, it's also good practice to apply some oil to your grilling grates before and after cooking to just help with the non-stick factor and rust protection, especially if you're going to be storing the grill for a while. And that's pretty much everything. Now you're ready to start grilling and enjoying some food. If this video has helped you out, I'd really appreciate it if you can give the video a thumbs up, share it around, comment down below with any thoughts or questions that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content. And if you want to further support my work, consider hitting the join button down below to become a member of this channel or becoming a patron on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.